Dear friends of a game whose name sounds like you're playing with trains, it's time again for Stationeers news. It's 2024, August the 7th. When I eagerly opened my Stationeers beta installation this morning, the beta version, by the way, is something that everybody can easily play and I have no regrets. Just click right mouse button on Stationeers in your Steam library, select Properties, select Betas, and then from the drop-down, select Beta and let the update run. I saw a message that I've never seen before. Maybe it's new, maybe it's not. The underlying situation at least is new. Controls conflict. Please visit the control assignment window and clear conflicts. And indeed I can find a conflict here. We have grab on G and smart stow on G. This is my personal configuration, I mean I've been playing for a while. Smart stow is a brand new feature that came in just a couple of hours ago. See, less than half a day ago the developers decided to do away with the double-click feature altogether because it introduced some input lag, because the interface first had to wait for the respective time to find out whether a double-click had taken place. This introduced some sluggishness that at least some of the developers really didn't like, so they decided to remove it altogether. Now, what's the double-click feature good for? This now is the official version of Stationeers, not the beta. You can see here we have the grab feature, but smart stow doesn't exist. So this was before the change of removing double-click. Let's take a look at the double-click feature. Here I opened a couple of inventories to see what double-click will affect, particularly what double-clicking versus mouse dragging will do. So let's drag a tool here and double-click it. I double-click again. It goes back to this panel, where it would have gone anyway, I think. Dragging, double-click, goes here. Dragging, double-click now here, and it goes there, so it remembers the panel from which I double-clicked. But if it goes into my hand not by double-clicking but by dragging, it returns to its default behavior, it appears. Anyway, double-clicking moves the item quickly between my hand and my inventory. For the longest time I've just been using drag and drop, but I've grown accustomed to using double-clicking increasingly. Double-clicking though has the problem that sometimes you miss the click, like you saw earlier, and then things get awkward. Now let's return to the brand new version. So now, double-click. Nothing happens. Maybe, though, you can observe that the behavior is much more snappy. I click here, things happen instantly. No delay. Double-click? Doesn't work? Okay. I'm clicking like crazy. Double-click doesn't do anything. However, interestingly, the grab feature is now on H. I didn't change that. This controls collision was resolved automatically. I am not a fan of that. I would have preferred that message to stay. Anyway, smart stow G. Double-clicking doesn't help, but I can drag it. Now let's press G. Aha, so that stows it, but I can't get it into my hand with G. Alternatively though, I can use the inventory select feature, which I have on my F key. This gets the item into my hand or from my hand to the inventory. Let's compare. I press F again. Now let's press G instead. Aha, so this is the smart stow feature in action. So there's clearly no double-clicking feature anymore. However, when they released that feature, I started a discussion about it in the general channel of the official Stationeers Discord server, where a developer chimed in, and then before I left for the day, I suggested to them that if they would feel the need to re-implement the double-click feature in some form, they could just use the right mouse button. And that's what they did. You can just right-click on the item, you can even drag it still, and this transports the item directly between your hands and the inventory. Let's see if that is the double-click feature that we had before. That is normal. Now let's right-click and it gets it there. So yes, this is the double-click feature. I must say, the click does not easily register, because when I move my mouse slightly, it immediately counts as a drag. The drag is beginning, and so the right-click can no longer register. This is annoying. I think dragging should only be possible with the left mouse button, and the right mouse button should be a dedicated move button, because this way, once again, we can fail our double clicks, so to speak. Now let's use the Smart Stow feature. I press G, that's where the item lands. I press G, that's where the item lands. So we still have the double click feature for the mouse as well for the keyboard, except it's not a double anymore, which should make things easier once they have hopefully cleaned up this right mouse button behavior. You shouldn't be able to drag the tool with the right mouse button, because in the heat of the action you will so often miss right mouse button teleport clicks that it damages this nice new feature completely unnecessarily. But anyway, in summary, the double-click feature was nice, few people knew about it, it was removed because it introduced sluggishness to the user interface. Now it's very snappy, and they found a way to re-implement this by using different inputs, right mouse button to teleport a tool. Inventory select, as per usual, teleports the tool between your active hand and the slot where your selection is. And the new Smart Stow feature replaces the original double tap feature of the inventory select key. I hope this will lead to more people now knowing about the double click feature in the first place and benefiting from the fast teleportation by clicking the right mouse button in the future. I will ask the devs to remove the drag feature of the right mouse button because it too often kills what was supposed to be a click. Moving on. Those among you who deconstruct the furnace sometimes to get rid of its content should reconsider.
Temperature low. Temperature low. Temperature low. Temperature low. Temperature low. High pressure. Temperature critical. Waste tank critical. Temperature critical. Subcritical. High pressure. Temperature high.
The same is true for gas tanks.
Pressure critical.
Where's the kaboom? There was supposed to be an earth-shattering kaboom.
Waste tank caution. Pressure critical. Temperature critical.
So how about that good old exploit where we could just deconstruct pipes and their content would vanish into nothing? As you know, deconstructing one pipe will push whatever was in there into the rest of them. Or rather, since this is not a flow implementation, but just a container, the container's volume decreases, the container is still the same container, and therefore the gas is still in the same thing. Oh, not good. Nothing. I would say that's missing them. Good news! During the recording of this video I asked one of the devs if they could remove the right mouse button drag action, and they said, oh, I didn't realize the RMB would drag the item or some such, and they will see if they can remove this. Great. Now, since today's news episode pretty much makes the previous one of yesterday obsolete and also made a dumb mistake there, let's repeat the two news items I also talked about. Now, as you know, if you decorate your station nicely with the walls, because these are walls, you can place them on the ground, it's still a wall, you will have trouble dealing with cables. These cables are fine, because there's no wall here. But these cables would not be fine, you cannot reach them, except now you can. Quite the improvement. Thank you, Rocketworks. And, also brand new, now we can place wall-mounted items even at the edge. Look here. That is new. I wonder what happens now. Ah, cannot merge with passive vent. Alright. More freedom, more convenience. And don't forget the right mouse button instead of dragging and dropping. Very cool. Oh, it automatically chooses the other hand. Cool. One hand occupied, Now it goes to the other. This should make things easier. The interface has always been a matter of contention with Stationeers, and these improvements, particularly if they also remove the right mouse button dragging effect and just make it a pure teleport click, will make the overall Stationeers experience significantly better, since you always have to swap tools around all the time. That's all for today.